Welcome to Newbury Wellbeing Meets, helping you discover your well-being and introducing you to our wonderful Newbury Wellbeing Directory members. Hello everyone. Today I'm talking to Dolton of Matrix Alchimia. She is a Transference Healing Practitioner, an Angelic Healing Practitioner and Trainer, and also a Magdalen High Priestess. Diana runs monthly new and full moon women's circle groups and offers a free Facebook group, Embrace Your Inner Goddess, which is a wonderful community of supportive women. And I personally really enjoy being a member. So Diana, thank you for joining me today. What does transference healing mean?
So both, for example, transference healing and angelic healing, the one that you mentioned earlier. Thank you for the lovely introduction. They're both healing modalities. With angelic healing, we're tapping into the angelic energies and channeling angelic frequencies for the wellness, mind, body, and spirit. In the same way, transference healing works on the four planes: physical plane, the mental plane, the emotional plane, and the spiritual plane. We are so complex beings beyond the flesh. And yeah, it's just, in a way, transference healing, I would say it's a way of thinking as well, and a way of being. It does unify the East and the West. So under the same umbrella, we are including a lot of the beliefs that some people might say belong to different religions or different systems. It's about unity consciousness. It's about understanding that we are just part of the oneness, one consciousness, part of the divine, each and every one of us.
Wonderful. So normally you would see people face to face for these healing therapy sessions, but I understand you can also offer them online?
Well, with the beauty of energy healing is that you can work anywhere in the world and help and support people anywhere in the world. Because we're working on the energetic makeup of the person, you don't have to be hands-on. So even if you have people in front of you, face to face, in the same room, you're still working on the energetic makeup of the person, and you're not touching the body physically. So that's the beauty of it. I do, at the moment, everything, obviously because of lockdown and everything that we've been experiencing for the past year or so. I've moved many things online, and I do see my clients over Zoom or Skype. We're still connecting, but I'm still able to support them in the best way I can, obviously through the healing modalities. So there's two aspects of my work at the moment. I'm supporting people one-to-one. I'm supporting groups through the new moon and the full moon monthly women-only circle. Just to specify. And then also I have students, women, training with me through the Magdalen Priestess training course. And then there's other things. One of the things that I'm planning for the future, very near future, is to put together a monthly offering where people can have access to lots of materials and lots of goodies, all in the one place. So the moon circles, monthly moon circles and meditations, courses, masterclasses, all sorts of things, just to support them through all these challenging times, isn't it?
Yes, wonderful. And I've always known you as being very much focused on empowering women, helping them. I mean, the name of your Facebook group, the free Facebook group, Embracing Your Inner Goddess, seems to sum up everything that you do. So what do you find that members of the groups have most benefited from?
Well, the idea behind creating the group has been, as you know, I've been running this full moon circle for many years now, when we could meet each other face to face in the same room. So my idea was to create a space where women can still connect with each other, even outside of those full moon circles that I was running. And to really understand, when it comes to the human nature, we do crave that connection. We want to be heard, we want to be seen, we want to be acknowledged. And many times in life, because we are busy, families, jobs, and all sorts of things, that falls to the bottom of the list if it's even making it on the list. So to have a space where you can have access to like-minded people, women, they're not judging you, they're just there. They can give you their support, their wisdom, and just sometimes just being able to just say things and to know that people are hearing you and they're there, it's massive, isn't it? And it's really apparent to me as we go through the lockdown, really interesting, because I am a single mom. So the social aspect of things has been very important. Don't get me wrong, I love my space, but it's nice to socialize with people as well. And what I came to see is that the space that I'm creating is very much the space that I need on a monthly basis. So I have my own space where I am just a woman in need of support, in need of that sacred space. So my plans to do this is to create that sacred space and that just beingness in the group that I'm running. I have been offering it free because I do know that some people do need that, and not everybody can afford because of the present situation. And then I will be running the monthly offerings, obviously on a paid basis, where people have access to more material and have access more to me in a way. Monthly Q&As, all sorts of lovely things to come.
Wonderful. So what are your top tips for people who are feeling a bit down, bit cut off in these lockdown times? How can you help people?
How can I help them? Well, I think there's two different subjects, isn't it? Top tips and how can I help them?
Yeah, sure.
So top tips, I can only recommend what works for me and what I have seen working for the women that I support. There's no one size fits all, isn't it, when it comes to wellness and health and things like that. One of the things that I found really difficult was to let go of the expectations that I have of myself, that I still have to do all of the things that I used to do. Okay. So to give you an example from my own life, I am a single mom. I'm still working, and I still have my client base. At the moment, trying to balance everything, including homeschooling, it is challenging, to say the least. So creating time for me is really tricky. That normally happens when somebody goes to sleep, and then it's my time. So then I spend my time either connecting to other women or reading my books, running energy on myself and things like that when I'm not supporting others. So what I would say top tips is really allow yourself surrender into what's happening at the moment, okay? Because if we are pushing against the flow of things, there will be a resistance and it's going to create some distortions around that. So surrender into what's happening. I'm not saying that you're going to be complacent into what's happening, but just take the pressure off. Create time for yourself and create a routine as well. Many of us have been thrown off by this lack of routine because we used to wake up in the morning, go to school, school drop off in my in my life, go to work, come home after the school drop off, housework, cooking, you name it, and then supporting other women at the weekend and all sorts of things. Now that routine has thrown off, and although we don't tend to think of ourselves as people, beings that love routine, we do need that structure. So creating that structure is great. One of the things that I recommend as well is creating a list of 3 things that you want to achieve on a particular day. And it could be anything, even silly things like taking the rubbish out, watering the plants. So you need to have at least 1 or 2 that can be achievable that day. Because as you tick them off, then you feel like you've done something, you feel an achievement. And then building on that energy, you can do a lot more things. So having a schedule in a way, and obviously you can be flexible and you can see how it flows, but having some dedicated chunks of time when you're doing specific things. Homeschooling in the morning, let's say, if that works better for your family. Meditation in the morning, waking up and journaling when you wake up. In my case, it's not possible because my human alarm does not give me time, for the journaling and introspection in the morning. So then it has to be shifted in the evening. Go out in nature. Walks are amazing. I'm sure there is a walk around somewhere, a piece of nature where you can be present in there, in that space. And nature is an amazing healer as well. Now, there's so many benefits. Obviously, you're getting fresh air, so the brain is more engaged, the immune system kicks in, you're creating that beautiful grounding, and you probably have heard of grounding, so you're connected to the earth, and there's so many good things happening when you do that. But you also become present, more connected, more centered, more balanced, and therefore you're able to move through whatever happens. And if you do feel emotional, let it out. Cry. If you feel there's a lot of things happening through you, then create opportunities for yourself to just experience what's happening and reach out to friends, family. There's a lot of therapists that are still working online. So reach out. Still, all the support is still available. It might not be face to face, but how amazing that we have access to this beautiful technology when it works, obviously. It's amazing that we have access to keep in touch with people this way as well. I know it's not going to be exactly the same as seeing a person face to face. I miss the hugs.
Especially and you do give amazing hugs, Diana.
So I miss those. So I had my chicky monkey as much as possible. So there's so many things, but first and foremost, take the pressure off. Just give yourself time and give yourself permission to feel all of those things, to feel thrown out of the routine, to feel confused, to feel like you're not finding your space, to feel that you don't know if you're coming or going, to feel sad, of course, grieving as well. That's part of the process. So yeah, just I guess the main tip is just allow yourself to be human.
Yes, and we're all certainly that. Well, thank you very much, Diana. That's given me lots of food for thought. I always find you have such a warm and uplifting presence, nurturing, very nurturing person. And the other thing, of course, that you offer to people is hypnobirthing.
Yes, I do.
So, what can you tell me about hypnobirthing? What is it?
So hypnobirthing is using hypnosis techniques of relaxation for preparing for birth. So we are doing, it's the more cerebral, mental plane based work that I do. And it's really helping parents, because it's not just women, obviously, the birth partners as well, husbands, dads, is really giving them the opportunity to find the information that they need to make an informed decisions when it comes to the birthing process, what to expect, the physicality of it, the practicality of it, what's happening in the body when you are giving birth, alternatives and all sorts of things. I guess in a way giving women confidence to ask all the questions they need to ask to make the best decision for them through the whole process, the best decision that they can. So then in that way they feel they're involved, in control, and they know what's happening, and it's the best outcome for them, for both mom and dad. So it is primarily supporting women through it, but including the birth partners, the dads as well, because they are very much present there. So therefore, it would be a great way to help them know exactly how to support the women in their lives. So they don't have to wing it. They know practical steps. We even have lists, Some men like to tick off lists. A practical way of supporting the mum, and practical ways for the moms to know what to do. And in a way, it was interesting because it's a really interesting continuation of my work, because I am really passionate about empowering women in so many ways. And I have been teaching all sorts of things for the best, 2 decades now. But also I'm working with children in my day-to-day, and also other beautiful things. So when I was looking into hypnobirthing, and I was thinking, what's my reasoning behind that? Well, first of all, to empower the parents and give them tools that will see them through the rest of their lives. I mean, some of the techniques I'm still using. Terrible twos is a thing, and then breathing, and one of the techniques that we're doing with the Wise People birthing program is taking a deep breath and counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I lost count how many times I do that today, and it does work.
Yeah.
So it's tools for life, but in the same time, how amazing it is for a child to be born in an environment where everybody's relaxed and welcoming. And then obviously the chances, the likeliness of the mom being able to bond with the child, and for the father to be able to bond with the child, the likeliness is a lot higher, isn't it? When you're not experiencing trauma, or even if you are experiencing trauma, to know how to support yourself through it, and then know how to get yourself out of it.
Yes, beautiful. So how would a couple access the hypnobirthing at the moment? Is that also something you can offer online?
Yes, so it is online. Obviously, we're doing face-to-face, but at the moment it's online. Again, it's something that you can do online. There's a book that comes with the course as well, and the course is broken down into 4 classes. So overall, you have about 10 hours, well, probably more than 10 hours of me teaching you the content. You'd have access to, I believe, 7 or 8 recordings that you can keep and you can listen to. So it's walking through the whole mind-body connection, how it works, why it works, how to help yourself, and all the practicality of things as well. There's no point in telling you all this theory if you're not putting them in practice, but you don't know what's happening. So birthing positions and all sorts of other things. So yes, it's all online. It's over Zoom, and yeah, it's really interesting. When I first shifted it online, I was thinking perhaps it's not working as well as face to face, but actually it doesn't really make any difference in terms of content.
Well, thank you very much, Diana. It's been wonderful talking with you today. Shame we can't end with a hug, but I wish you one all the same. Yes. That's super. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Claire. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.